I don't want to see this on your MySpace page.
MySpace was a dated reference even when this movie came out. This many holes blown in the Humvee, but nothing hits Tony. An entire article called Metal vs. Wood. Mad Men wasn't popular enough yet in 2008 for Roger to play Howard Stark. Name actor with a bald head tells us who the surprise bad guy is 4.5 minutes into the movie. Forbes didn't spell check this magazine cover, or they like stupid puns. It's a sin either way. Jon Favreau's in Vegas, but he's not picking up beautiful babies. So this chick was so turned on by how brazen Tony Stark was in asking her to bed that she got in the car and drove for 3+ hours with him to Malibu? So is he the Joker now? Scene does not contain a lap dance. Gwyneth Paltrow.
How'd she take it?
Like a champ.
How does Pepper know that the reporter took it like a champ? Was she in the bedroom with them?
I'm just your babysitter, and so, you know, when you need your diaper change, thank you. Let me know, and I'll get you a bottle.
If you're using bottles when you change diapers, you are a terrible babysitter. Wait a minute, why does the bad guy insist on having Stark build the Jericho missile instead of just killing him immediately? We learn he's already got the connection to Obadiah, so he can buy Stark weapons under the table, so why not just buy a Jericho that way? If he shoots Tony right now, he can still get the Jericho and then fulfill his promise to Obadiah to kill the guy. The arc reactor is here, but then we see it, granted ever so briefly, but with that unmistakable blue glow, when he shows Jensen the blueprints, which is before he's actually put the damn thing in his chest.
That could won your heart for 50 lifetimes.
Wait a second, is the reactor needed to keep shrapnel out of his heart, or to power the thing? If only there was a shining, gleaming clue that could have tipped the terrorists off that Tony wasn't building a missile.
And I will see them when I leave here.
Jon Favreau forgets to show the Grim Reaper behind the sky to hammer home how doomed he is. Where did he get the hair gel? Someone forgot to tell this guy he has video cameras set up in this room. The only guy who actually keeps an eye on the video feed sees Tony doing some crazy robotic leg thing and goes in to call them on their but then just drops it and lets them get back to work. Missiles don't have masks. This should have been a dead giveaway. If these guys had ever seen Hunt for Red October, they know to be careful shooting in a room full of missiles. So none of these guys even got one bullet anywhere near the giant eye holes? Did none of the flames of this explosion get through his eye holes either?
I want an American cheeseburger.
Well then why the f did you go to Burger King?
Manufacturer division of Stark International. Until such a time.
Well, you know, that's just like, your opinion, man.
This evil rich guy gets around on a Segway. Pepper yanks out the magnet Tony tells her not to take out, but then they both just forget about it and put the new one back in without a magnet.
What?
That's pretty funny, but wouldn't serious injury or death occur from crashing face first into a concrete wall and then falling from that height? Wait a minute, the coffee Pepper brought him back before he talked to Obi, and then tested flight inside, and then tested the flight of the suit outside is still steaming hot? Apple and Dell monitors sharing screen time makes my geek head spin. Apparently, secret meetings concerning Tony's own company that result in injunctions against him can take place without his or Pepper's knowledge. This shell flies past Iron Man but never hits anything or detonates. If the bad guys are making their big hostage video all just for Obadiah, as we learn later in the film, why didn't they just speak English? What language did they use to communicate with him when setting up illegal arms deals? Did they make these little videos for all their communication with him? This paralyzing technology is perhaps just as good as anything Iron Man has in his arsenal, but strangely isn't used again.
You really think that just because you have an idea, it belongs to you?
This is what Stan Lee must have told Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko back in the day. Why doesn't he use this thing to roll across the floor and save more of its energy?
She's fine. She's with 5 agents. They're about to arrest Obadiah.
That's not gonna be enough.
Why doesn't Tony just call her right now and tell her to stop?
Next time, baby.
Yeah, not for you. Why the f is he hiding? Tony saves innocent civilians in this car by sending Obadiah flying to crush innocent civilians in some other car. Once you're in a suit this badass, do you really need to punch someone with a motorcycle? Seriously, Obadiah, just whip out the keychain gizmo and paralyze his ass again. Falling glass is totally harmless. Gwyneth Paltrow's head isn't in a box at the end of the movie. Wait a minute, the guy who directed Elf did this movie? Or is it the guy who writes Obama's speeches? Neither seem qualified, but I've been surprised before. This end credit scene becomes the bane of existence to all movie theater ushers everywhere as people start wading through the end credits of every single movie before they leave.
Get me Major Allen. Scramble the jets.
No, understand, Commander. That torpedo did not self-destruct. You heard it hit the hull, and I was never here.